The Most Beautiful Czech Books of the Year competition is held by the Ministry of Czech Culture of the Czech Republic and the Museum of Czech Literature. The competition looks at the polygraphs, graphic, and illustrative aspects of books that are published by Czech publishers and printed by Czech printing companies during the previous calendar year. The competition has a different visual layout and concept every year, usually designed by the graphic artist awarded in the catalogs category in the previous year. The designer develops the graphic design of the catalogs, the exhibition, and the presentations for that year.
Greetings, this is Hamza Hassan giving an outsider perspective on the Most Beautiful Czech Book.
Hamza Hassan is an artist, writer, and activist. He's the author of the book Shy Radicals, Anti-Systemic Politics of the Militant Introvert. He was recently awarded the Grand Prize at the Ljubljana Biennial 2019. He's presented art projects at PS1 MoMA, New York Art Book Week, and Tate Modern.
How we experience and love and live with books should be judged by whether we keep them by the bedside table, and that's a place they should have in our lives. So I'm giving this address from bed as if I've gone to sleep and woken up with these retrospective of catalogues. Just in the last 10 years you've gone through so many different concepts and themes for how the award ceremony had been conducted. It's almost like a radical reinvention of the award ceremony itself. And here we have 2014, which looks like digitalization edition, almost like a lab technician. I don't know whether this replicates on the logics of over-industrializing books. So you have like almost like a bureaucratized assembly line of interior life. It's almost like robbing the books of their soul. And it's also a strange way to just commemorate 50th anniversary. There are so many archives that are sort of publicly held, which no one actually looks at. It's about the feel of the book. It's about the weight. It's about me carrying it with me. It reminds me. It's equivalent between, remember, Tamagotchis and digital pets. I'm told this is one of the iconic buildings in which the ceremony was held. Sort of looks strangely like a folk thing, but sort of strangely retro-futurist. So I'm not sure whether this is like the way forward. So let's plug out, not plug in. Now this was a concept which struck and resonated most powerfully with me, which was the alternative juries concept by a Czech conceptual artist. To include all sorts of people. I guess this was the most radical thing to do. These are for people of various walks of life. Outside the, museum directors and other sort of prestigious quote-unquote people. And that's cool. But I was thinking, there's a lot of reclamation, say, in Ljubljana of its role in the world. I mean, what's Czech Republic's role in the world? Imagine you had juries from Africa and Asia, and what it might mean for solidarity. Imagine you had juries from Palestine and occupied zones or oppressed zones. What would that be like? So this could still be taken not as a novelty or experiment, but to actually keep rethinking juries and then not go back to a status quo. For the 2016 edition of The Most Beautiful Czech Book, you had gold, white and black, and it was a means of blurring the boundaries between first, third and second place. By a graphic scheme. The Turner Prize the year before last was given collectively in Britain by a requirement and a just collective decision by all the nominees, and then shared equally, and that was seen as a statement against the austerity policies and inequality of the Conservative government. Sometimes these seem like vain, grandiose gestures. These are often niche interests and not sort of grandiose conception of who we are. I guess it's nice. There's an attempt here to have this intergenerational dialogue with this older generation of Czech Republic brochure type, that gold lettering, and less attention paid to size and scale and what you could play with as an idea. I wonder how much children are actually involved in the children's book. And here we have the 2018 edition, which had John Morgan, who's apparently a legendary graphic designer. So I guess he's a designer's legend insider thing. Maybe one for the more nerds. In the beginning, there's this very down-to-earth essay about wandering second-hand bookstores, and there's an attempt to be down-to-earth again with giving the jury to people from ordinary walks of life, whoever that is. I'm told this guy John Morgan, he did a really grandiose thing of trying to redesign James Joyce's Ulysses, and you can see a video of him with a bald head looking like a monk or some legendary sage figure. But to me, redesigning Ulysses, it's like a bit of a masturbatory, grandiose fantasy. It's a bit like those big prog rock albums from the 70s, like Yes, Rush, and big Pink Floyd grand statements, and in contrast to such a humble little book here, like a little moleskin pocket book. So nice, fits in your pocket. The theme of 2019 around burnout and freelancing and the sort of loneliness of freelance life, where you're like this permanent precariat, and the line between leisure and rest when things end is not so clear. The alienation where you want to escape, and hence rest being in bed is like a form of resistance. At the same time, I've just been impressed though, for awards ceremony, it does have a critical intervention function. So the Czech books of the year is like one big performance or intervention into itself, and is sort of clever enough to appeal to insiders and really reflect on what it is